Drivers have been left scratching their heads at the decision to paint double yellow lines down both sides of a tiny street less than 5 feet wide. Birdcage Walk in Hanley, Stoke-on-Trent, is 4 feet 6 inches wide in places, prompting members of the public to question the need for the local council to paint the lines, with one calling it a waste of paint. Puzzled residents took to social media after the alleyway was featured in a story about fly tipping, all asking the same question: why bother with the standard width of a car being around 5 feet 8 inches, no motorist would be able to fit along the alleyway, let alone park in there, Stoke-on-Trent Live reports. Readers noticed the lines in pictures after a local news story described how the area has become an unofficial toilet for the homeless, dumping ground for rubbish and a graffiti hotspot. Image, Stoke Sentinel, BPM Media. Writing on Stoke-on-Trent Live's Facebook page, James Botham said, "Double yellows each side? Looks like you could barely fit a scooter down there, never mind a car." Chris Adams added, "Those double yellows are a bit academic, to be honest, a waste of yellow paint." Sean Williams wrote, "It has double yellow on both sides? What are they expected go down there?" Chris Steele quipped, "Good job they've put double yellows there." Local residents have asked why the council would bother painting lines on such a narrow route. Image, Stoke Sentinel, BPM Media. Most read, Vladimir Putin says violence will get worse and plans to take over all of Ukraine. Russia-Ukraine war live. Vladimir Putin in chilling warning violence will get worse. Russian soldier breaks down in tears as Ukrainians feed him and help call his mum. And Rachel Ashley had this suggestion: whoever put the yellow lines there, it needs to be a red route. Some drivers not familiar with Hanley's roads have nearly been caught out by their sat-navs, which have directed them to turn up the street. The Taxpayers Alliance has previously dubbed the lines as an unnecessary use of resources. Chief Executive John O'Connell told Stoke-on-Trent Live in 2018, "Anyone with common sense can see that this was probably an unnecessary use of resources." Readers all noticed the same thing when a story calling for gates to be fitted at each end was published on Monday. Image, Stoke Sentinel, BPM Media. Don't miss. Family horrified after giving pet dog to Battersea only for him to be put down days later. Russia-Ukraine war live. Vladimir Putin in chilling warning violence will get worse. Driver's fury at wheelie bin selfishly chained to ground to reserve parking space. Dalton Mills fire. Huge inferno erupts at Old Mill used in Peaky Blinders. Council tax is a huge bill for families and they won't be pleased to see it spent in this way. But at the time, Stoke-on-Trent City Council's Highways Department defended the double yellow lines on Birdcage Walk, which were put there around 22 years. Councillor Daniel Jellyman, cabinet member for Regeneration, Transport and Heritage, said, "These double yellow lines were put down around the turn of the century. When they weren't there, people actually parked on the road and left items there. The lane is clearly not accessible all the way along to most cars, but it is accessible some of the way, and motorbikes, scooters and service vehicles can and do gain access to the entire length. If only one side of the road had double yellow lines, there would be nothing to stop a motorbike, for example, parking on the other side, effectively blocking the public highway. Although they might look a bit peculiar at first glance, experience has taught us that these restrictions are necessary. It is not uncommon to see this type of thing across the country. Sometimes we have to do seemingly unusual things for valid reasons. Read more. Chichester crash. 2 teenagers dead and 2 more wounded in 1 a.m. smash. Read more. When Piers Morgan suffered broken rib from Brett Lee in stunt that could have been fatal.